All right. Hi, everybody. And we are here with an author and a true Renaissance. He is Mr. Al Olson. Hi, Al.
Hello, Emma. How you doing?
I'm doing good. So tell me, you've written this wonderful book here, this wonderful book. It's amazing. I was looking through it past couple days, and I mean the pictures are amazing. The stories are fantastic. It's like holy moly. So, I mean, you have been doing this for like 30 some years, correct?
Yeah, actually, a little more than that. Yes.
Well, we'll go with 30. So
Yeah.
so oh my gosh. So I mean it's got wonderful pictures and everything, as I said, and over 50 biographies of people involved in this over the years. I was just waiting for King Arthur to walk out of the book and say, "Hi, how you doing?" I just wanted to say thank you for the book, and it's autographed people, so that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. So in the book, I was looking through there, like I said, and there's a spot in there. I checked it here. Let me see if I can find it real fast. I marked it earlier. Do do do. I mean, look at these pictures, people. This is amazing. Look at this. This is so awesome. Terribly, terribly cool. The Rapsini brothers.
The Raspinis. Yes.
Reskinis. Yeah. It said they were jugglers and did this, that, and the other. And then somehow they managed to be an opening act for Robin Williams and Billy Crystal.
Yes. Oh, they've
I
worked all
mean,
over the world. They did really well.
nice. When I read that, it's like, wow, that is amazing. In writing this book, you said that it was a homage to the business that allowed me to live these memories and have the opportunity to sing and dance my way around the country for over 30 years. Well, how did you get started in this?
Actually, had a folk singing group back in the late 60s and
Mhm.
70s. And we did a theater show, and the artistic director of the Minnesota Renaissance Festival came to the show and hired us on the spot before we actually knew what a Renaissance Festival was.
Wow, that's amazing. Why do you think that Americans and just people in general are fascinated by the Renaissance?
For
I
one
mean,
thing, it's very colorful. It's all about entertainment and fun. And
mhm.
frankly, I think that, a lot of people don't really get that much satisfaction in their daily lives. And Renaissance festivals offer a place for people to come out. They can pretend they're someone else. They can pretend they're somewhere else another time. And otherwise, they can just sit back and watch the processions in front of them, eat, drink, and be merry, and get away from the regular world for a while.
Yeah, away from the rat race and the 9 to 5, and be a kid again,
Yeah.
basically. Yeah, be a kid again. What brought you to start this? Did you start this festival, or were you just come in later, or
No, I did start a festival in Nashville, Tennessee. I produced
okay.
one there,
Okay, that's what I was thinking, but I
but that was 10 years after I had started in the
in
business.
the business, yeah.
But the reason that I wrote the book was that by the late '80s, uh, Renaissance festivals were considered sort of a joke, a sitcom joke.
Yeah.
And at that point, I knew enough about the people in the business to realize that there were really talented, incredible people who had a lot of other choices in life, but they chose this blank slate so they could just create their own future. And so that's when I started gathering information, photos, and setting out questionnaires, that sort of thing. And it took
Yeah.
me 30 years, but I did finish the book.
Well, it's an amazing book, I'll tell you that right now. It's just, and I mean the pictures and the people, and I'm sure you've made friends all over the world, and you know people all over the world, you know.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So,
It
yeah.
no, it's like a huge family, and of course my daughter grew up in it. My granddaughter is growing up in it now.
Well, that was one of my questions, if the family joined in. Yeah,
Yes, yes. Actually, my daughter is the crafts coordinator for the Arizona Festival and the
really.
North Carolina Festival. Full-time job for her right now.
Wow, that's amazing. Oh, your granddaughter is getting into it as well. So, and I'm sure all of her little friends say, "Come on, we're gonna go play and dress up." And so, does her friends come and join in as well, or no?
Well, I mean, yes, she actually travels. She lives on a festival site with her mother.
Yeah,
So all of her friends there are well aware of what the festival is.
cool. So, what type of people run and perform these festivals? I mean, where do they come from?
Well, there are a number of former rock promoters that have started festivals. There are a number of people who were food vendors at the Minnesota State Fair that started out doing food at festivals, and then some of them opened their own shows as well.
Uh-huh.
And otherwise, just different businessmen. The Maryland show was started by Jules Smith, who was actually the attorney for the Minnesota Renaissance Festival when they started that up, and then he decided to start his own.
Now, I saw in the book where you've got pictures of people, building buildings and stuff like that. Do you build them on site and then tear them down and take them somewhere else, or do you build
Oh
them
no,
and they stay
they're
there?
permanent sites.
Oh,
They're
okay,
permanent
okay.
sites.
Because I was going to say, because it's like, oh my gosh, that would be a lot of work, taking
Yeah.
it down and putting it up and taking it down and putting it up, and holy moly.
There are a lot of temporary shows out there, and that's what, for instance, the Underhill Pavilion, which is a famous tent that I mention in the book.
Yeah.
Uh, that's what those are good for. Is some use pop-ups, some use Underhill pavilions,
Oh
uh,
yeah.
and
Yeah.
whatever. Sad to say, Jeff Underhill just passed this year, so there won't be any more of his being made.
Oh,
But
well.
there are literally hundreds of them at shows all over,
Mhm.
both Renaissance Festival and even for Disney.
Oh, for Disney as well.
Yeah.
Well, see, I didn't know that. So now, have you been, contacted about maybe doing a movie about this or some kind of being reenactors in movies and stuff like that? Do you guys do that as well or no?
No, I there was a movie filmed a while back where I was interviewed as the man who was writing the book on Renaissance festivals,
Uh-huh.
and that was a fun production. Uh, and there are a number of them being done all over the place. As a matter of fact, there's another one being worked on right now. They're spending a lot of time at the Texas Renaissance Festival
Hmm.
talking to people there.
Hmm. Oh, okay. Yeah, because a couple months ago I did an interview with uh, Hollywood movie director David Winning, and he had done a movie about Merlin with Sean Connery's son. And they went over to Scotland and they were in all those castles and he saw ghosts and it was pretty neat. I was getting stuff ready to speak with you. I thought about that. So you've went over across the pond, as they say. Have you been like to Scotland or England or, you know,
No, no,
no?
I haven't done any of those. There are a few Renaissance type festivals, but most of the ones in Europe and England are actually for the individual communities. They've been going on for centuries. So they started in the Renaissance and they're just
Yeah,
still going.
and they still going. Yeah, yeah. Because I mean, David was talking about this castle 600 or 700 years old, and then the hotel he was in was like 400 years old. Just it fascinates me, because like I said, I was waiting for King Arthur to to come out of the book and say, "Hi, what's going on?" So, I mean, why do you suppose people are so fascinated by that time in history?
Well, a lot of people are really into the jousting, the armor, the weaponry, that
Mm-hmm.
sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And others appreciate the arts of leather work and glass blowing and just visual arts.
Yeah.
Um, Not to mention the fact that most shows present a pretty good menu of foods. sometimes ethnic, a lot of hand foods, of course, turkey legs.
Yeah, of course. Oh, so wow, that and um so why do you think it's become more popular since COVID?
Well, I think that people were just cooped up for so long that it was
They just needed to get out.
wonderful to get out to do something, and festivals were one of the first things they could do because they were outdoors, which
Right.
was a little safer than indoor groups.
Yeah.
But they certainly have. I mean, the problems that festivals had since COVID are traffic jams, running out of food, running out of products.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I can imagine. So, oh my gosh, I can just imagine that. So, I mean, so the family's involved in all this and this for over 30 years. It just, it fascinates me. I mean, I have so many questions bouncing off in my head that I can't get any of them out. I even wrote some down. I have a list. I have a list. But you've answered my list before I
Okay,
could
well,
ask. So, and that's a sign of a good interview or interviewee.
well, I have a lot more to say. I mean,
Well,
certainly, I mean,
just
some
go
of the
right in. We still
amazing,
have some time. So, I mean, just tell me your experiences. Tell me some of the stuff that's went on and, the
well,
goofy stuff and the, you know,
I performed full time for 30 years as a singing executioner.
a singing executioner.
Yeah, folks, me and Blonde was singing executioners, running
Okay.
around with a black bag on my head and a 7-foot axe. And I was actually a children's character. And the kids got it. The adults
Yeah.
didn't always get it, but the kids did.
Yeah.
But one of my most memorable experiences was in Muskogee, where I saw a group of people coming up to our stage. And I asked, I said, is this a family reunion or something? And nobody responded. They sat there for the show. After the show, one of the women came up to me and said that she said, do you remember my father? He fell off a bench during your show last year. And actually, I remembered that. I said, well, I thought he was okay. And she said, oh, no, no, he was fine. He fell off the bench from laughing so hard. But she said he did end up passing away about 6 months later. But for
Oh,
the last 6 months of his life, he chuckled about you guys' act every day. And so, in his honor, the family decided to come to see your show.
oh, that's nice.
So that
Yeah.
kind of justifies bagging my face and jumping around and singing in the sun a little bit.
There you go.
And we had the opportunity to be backstage entertainment for the Rolling Stones in St. Paul, and
Yeah. Oh, I bet that was something, I bet.
that was wild. Then in '96, we were the first act to roast Charles Barkley at his celebrity roast, and we introduced Billy Crystal to take over for us.
Nice.
The theme was Sir Charles Barkley. They did
Oh,
the
of
rest of
course.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Sir Charles. Yeah.
but no, some of the people that I talk about, I mean, uh, the heavily talented potters, artists who have studied in Europe, performers who have studied in Europe.
Uh-huh.
Um, Michael Marzella, who was a professional king, he probably he's been king at more festivals than anybody else.
Yeah.
He was a journalist. He was the feature editor for St. Pete Times for a while. He wrote articles for the Smithsonian. And when they started USA Today, he turned down a job working for them because he just wanted to be king.
Well, why? Who would not want to be king, right?
Exactly, exactly. But yeah, there are Harvard educated jugglers.
Uh-huh.
It's and no, it's an incredible group of people, and I simply had to share those stories with the public because it's uh, it's something that popped up, and very talented people all hooked into it, writing their own script, building their
Yeah.
own business at the beginning,
Yeah.
and basically the cumulative effect of all these people is what created what they are today.
Wow. That's just, that's Oh my God. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. I mean, you have met so many interesting people. And I mean, everybody, this book is so full of, pictures and people and, Ron, Ron,
Ron Bolden.
yeah, Ron Bolden, ships in here, and there's, the t-shirts and everybody, you need to get this book. You just need to get this book right here. This book right here, right here.
And for anybody who wants an autographed copy,
Yeah.
they can go to singingexecutioners.com.
And you can get an autographed copy.
Get an
Yes,
autographed
yes.
copy, and it's actually cheaper than Amazon. At,
Oh, really?
yeah,
Wow. Nice. So, here's one of the castles, that I was
that
talking about. And, I'm thinking now if they built that and then tore that back down and built it again somewhere else, oh my gosh,
that
so
would be tough. But there are people with old pirate ships and stuff that they do move around that are on
yeah.
wheels.
Yeah,
But
there is a picture of one of the pirate ships in here. I was looking for that. Well, here's one of the ships down
the
here. Yeah.
self-propelled ship ride.
Ooh, nice.
Now you got to pull a
Nice.
rope. That's a little bit of work to take that ride.
Oh, I bet that thing's heavy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, I bet that's really heavy. So, but here's a jester. There's a
yeah.
jester. So,
That fellow is brilliant, Gabriel. He
Gabriel?
actually,
Yeah.
yes, he actually he was hired by a drug lord in Colombia to do puppets for a private party, and the guy paid him so much money that he wasn't sure that he was going to be coming back.
Well, can you kind of blame him? But,
Huh?
I mean, I've heard, drug lords and like that do stuff like that for their kids. I've heard that because I used to be a news reporter and I would hear stories like that and think, oh no, but you just confirmed it. So,
He also built a giant pair of juggling hands for a an off-Broadway show.
oh really? Wow, that is so. Here's one of the kings.
Oh yes, that's King Richard's Fair up in Boston.
Yeah. So, but see, everybody. Ooh, here's sword fights.
Yes, those two are actually both registered fight choreographers. They're
Really?
oh yeah, they've got letters, believe me.
They got a lot of letters behind their name, huh? Oh my gosh. But yeah, I mean, this is just, oh, and here's some of the jousting. Now, see, that's what I like, the jousting, you know.
Yep.
And
He's Kelly started in Minnesota just like we did.
oh, really?
That trip,
Nice.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So, but
And
here's like,
just to mention the picture, you do like the pictures so much. Mike Barrich took the photos. He passed away last year, but he was a rather famous rock photographer.
yeah, I had heard of him. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
yeah, he
yeah.
was with the Beatles in Hawaii
Beatles,
trying to get
yeah.
them all into the same room for a picture when they were breaking up. Yeah, he
He
traveled.
managed that. He
No,
managed to. No, I was gonna
no,
say that would be.
but
Yeah, I
he
wouldn't
did
see that
spend time
happening.
with Janis Joplin, Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah.
He worked for the Republican Party for over 10 years. Said he made more money selling old Doors photos in that time period than he did working for the Republican Party.
Well, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
So, oh my gosh. But yeah, here's this one. I really like this one. The guy in the swing.
Ah, Richard. Yes, indeed.
He looks really happy.
Oh, yes. Oh,
He looks
he's
like
a
he's having a
wonderful.
lot of fun. So, oh my gosh, he just looks like he's having all kinds of fun. So, I mean, our time is like, chip. We'll have to do this again sometime. These interviews go by so fast, especially whenever I'm talking to somebody as wonderful as you, and
Oh,
as and he has all kinds of stories to tell. And hello, we learn so much. Learn so much. Once again, give us your website where they can find the book and go get the book.
singingexecutioners.com.
Singingexecutioners.com.
Yes.
Okay. Wonderful. And you can get it signed by Al, and he'll send that right out. I mean, I got mine in like no time. So, and thank you, Andy, for doing that, I want to thank you once again, Mr. Al, for coming on, and you have an open invitation anytime you want to come back and, you know, chit chat some more about all your experiences. That
Well, I
would
am
be
working on a follow-up book now.
all right. Well, that was my next question. What was you working on now? See, you're answering. We're on the same wavelength.
Well, there were too many wonderful stories to fit into a 360-page book.
This is true, and there are lots of great stories, great pictures. It's amazing. It's amazing. So I want to thank you one last time, and everybody go to the website, and I'm sure you've got all kinds of information on there as well. And we will talk to you soon.
All right. Thank you very much, Emma.
You're welcome. I'll talk
Thank
to you
you.
soon. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Hi, everybody. I'm back just to say thank you one more time to Al for being on the show and bringing us all this great information about Renaissance fairs that I personally did not know. I think it's wonderful that his granddaughter and his daughter are there with him doing this. His daughter is, doing the Arizona and I think he said North Carolina, I believe he said, festivals. His granddaughter is there. They're learning all kinds of things, and they're living history. It's a living history. And so everybody, if you can get to one of these, please go and enjoy yourself, and tell them I sent you. Also, everybody go get Al's book. It is great reading. There's lots of pictures, there's lots of entertaining stories in there. As he said, there wasn't enough time in our visit this time to go over everything in just this book, and I can't wait for the next one. It's great. So everybody go to his website, www.singingexecutioner. I still can't get over that. Singingexecutioner.com. Tell him I sent you. Have him sign it. Tell him I sent you. It's always good, always good. So I'm going to leave you with a few more pictures of different Renaissance fairs around the country, just so you can have another taste, another bite of this great festival. So until next time, I'll see ya.